TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu highlights the ever-strong and deepening relations between Jerusalem, Prague and Budapest. The Israeli Navy concludes an exercise titled Noble Dina, which was drilled alongside the French, Greek, and Cypriot Navies. Russia asserts that the tragic situations in Iraq, Libya, and Syria are the consequences of the democratization imposed by the West. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hosted his Czech and Hungarian counterparts Andrej Babiš and Viktor Orban in Jerusalem, during which he highlighted the ever-strong and deepening relations between Jerusalem, Prague, and Budapest.
This is a delight to welcome two close friends, Prime Minister Viktor Orban of Hungary and Prime Minister Andrej Babiš of the Czech Republic. When I say close friends, I mean that. Both close personal friends, but also leaders who've made their countries even greater friends of Israel than before. And we appreciate the fact that they've opened up missions in Jerusalem, and also that they assist us on the international stage as true friends do.
During their trilateral working meeting, the three leaders discussed ways to deepen cooperation in numerous sectors of joint interest, including specifically for the Czech Republic and Hungary to join a multilateral initiative of Israel, Denmark, and Austria, which aim to cooperate in development of production facilities for future vaccines. Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš, for his part, highlighted Prague's unwavering support for the security of the Jewish state since its modern-day inception in 1948. As part of that commitment, the Czech leader seized the opportunity to criticize the International Criminal Court in The Hague for its claim of jurisdiction over the disputed territories, namely the Gaza Strip and West Bank, a decision which consequently led the ICC's outgoing prosecutor, Fatou Bensouda, to announce an investigation into Palestinian allegations of Israeli war crimes.
When the International Criminal Court announced in February it seeks to investigate and prosecute cases in Palestinian territories, we find this unfortunate. Though we respect the independence of the court, the Czech Republic doesn't consider Palestine to be a state. Therefore, the court has no jurisdiction over it. The ruling is a political and generates new tension in the Middle East.
Turning to the Gaza Strip, where three Palestinian fishermen were reportedly killed earlier this week on Sunday as a result of an offshore explosion. It is crucial to highlight that the fatal incident occurred at a time when Islamist militants in the Hamas-controlled territory were test-firing rockets into the Mediterranean Sea. While the Gaza-based Palestinian Center for Human Rights initially concluded that errant Palestinian fire caused the fatal explosion of the fishing vessel, public anger directed at the Islamist Hamas organization ahead of anticipated legislative and presidential elections have prompted the Hamas-run government in Gaza to reject responsibility, instead pointing a blaming finger toward Israel.
نحمل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي المسؤولية الكاملة عن حادث استشهاد الصيادين الثلاثة بتاريخ 7 مارس 2021 في عرض بحر خان يونس جنوب قطاع غزة، الذين ارتقوا جراء انفجار عبوة شديدة الانفجار مثبتة على حوامة إكواد كابتر تابعة للاحتلال الإسرائيلي علقت في شباكهم وانفجرت أثناء استخراجهم للشباك.
On Sunday, when reports of the fatal explosion emerged, the IDF spokesperson's unit had denied any involvement in the incident. Turning to Paris, where French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian hosted his German, Egyptian, and Jordanian counterparts Heiko Maas, Samih Shoukry, and Ayman Safadi yesterday for discussions on ways to restart the long-stalled peace process for the Israel-Palestinian conflict. During a press conference which followed their meeting, a fourth of its kind, the French top diplomat hailed the multilateral initiative as a show of their respective willingness to, quote, help restore the conditions for dialogue and therefore lasting peace in the region. It is worth mentioning, as a side note, that following the press conference, Minister Le Drian was forced to enter into self-quarantine after it was confirmed that he came into contact with a person in his family who has tested positive for COVID-19. Turning to the Eastern Mediterranean, where an annual international naval exercise, which this year was led by the Israeli Navy, titled Noble Dina, concluded earlier today. The exercise included cooperation with 3 other navies, including Greece and, for the first time, France and Cyprus. During the joint exercise, which took place in the Mediterranean Sea west of Cyprus, Israeli Navy vessels simulated different scenarios alongside the foreign fleets. According to the IDF Chief of Naval Operations, Rear Admiral Eyal Harel, quote, "Over the past week, the Navy led a large-scale exercise in which it implemented capabilities in underwater warfare, search and rescue, convoy escort, and surface combat." Harel continued by underscoring that these exercises are of paramount importance in strengthening the Israeli Navy's connection with foreign fleets who share common interests. Turning to the Qatari capital of Doha, where Qatar's foreign minister, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, concluded a first trilateral meeting with his Turkish and Russian counterparts, Mevlut Cavusoglu and Sergei Lavrov, aimed at discussing ways of ending the war in Syria, as well as alleviating the Syrian people's humanitarian distress.
ضرورة تسهيل وزيادة المساعدات الإنسانية لجميع السوريين في جميع أنحاء البلاد دون تمييز أو تسييس من أجل دعم وتحسين الوضع الإنساني في سوريا وتحقيق تقدم في عملية التسوية السياسية.
Bugün kardeşim Şeyh Muhammed ve dostum Sergey Lavrov'la Suriye konusunda yeni bir üçlü istişare süreci başlattık. Bu inisiyatif için ve bizleri Doha'da bu toplantıda ağırlayan kardeşim Şeyh Muhammed'e ve Katar'a huzurlarınızda teşekkür ediyorum. Amacımız Suriye'de kalıcı bir siyasi çözüm çabalarına nasıl katkıda bulunabileceğimizi ele almaktı. Ve bu anlayışla son derece verimli toplantılar geçirdiğimizi söylemek isterim.
It is important to note that the fact that Iran was not present in this meeting has raised speculations over whether the new trilateral initiative, excluding the Islamic Republic, aimed to replace the Astana talks amid rising political tensions between Ankara and Tehran. Therefore, when asked about the matter, Moscow's top diplomat said the following.
И, конечно, он никак не подменяет астанинский формат, он дополняет его. Астанинский формат в свое время создал основу для всех тех усилий, которые сейчас предпринимаются на сирийском направлении, создал основу для резолюции 2254, прежде всего через проведение Конгресса сирийского национального диалога в Сочи. И астанинский формат посвящен всем аспектам урегулирования, и военным, и политическим, и гуманитарным. И, конечно же, мы будем приветствовать ту роль, которую Катар заинтересован сыграть. Это проявление естественного желания помочь братской арабской стране.
The Russian top diplomat was also asked about an anticipated conference on the conflict in Afghanistan, which is scheduled to be held in Moscow on March the 18th. And while TV7 Israel does not cover the Afghan conflict unless it has direct or indirect implications for the peace of Jerusalem, Minister Lavrov's answer provided a glimpse into Moscow's regional attitude.
Мы действительно все заинтересованы, чтобы трагедия Афганистана как можно скорее прекратилась. Это еще один пример того, как на практике выглядят последствия демократизации, которую внерегиональные страны пытаются привнести, в том числе и в Ираке, и в Ливии, и в Сирии.
Thank you for watching us. As part of TV7 Israel's prayer initiative, I would like to encourage you today to join myself and the team here in Jerusalem to lift up both the Czech Republic and Hungary once again in prayer for their salvation and peace, alongside prayers for our persecuted brothers and sisters around the world, in addition to our ongoing prayers, of course, for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hassan, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom U'Mevorach, and we will see you again on Monday at the same time.